Welcome to the Nerd Amigos. This is Michael.
And Jamie.
And Ryan.
And me, Chris.
What?
We're in a multiverse today where we are each other.
Yes.
Except Michael is still Michael.
Yeah,
Michael will always.
Yeah,
But
I have
carry-
a constant. In
I will
all
carry the
multiverse.
opinion of Jamie. Let me just see if I can get this right.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Captain Marvel was the worst cinematic movie ever. The story and subtext was clearly subpar compared to the previous Marvel cinematic.
I didn't know you could do that voice, Chris.
Wow.
Out of nowhere.
I know.
Well, you've been saving that one for a special occasion. Sitting at home, airing it.
Jamie's smelly. Anyway. Jamie, do you want to have a crack at my opinions on things? You want to, it's only fair to give you a free shot.
Well, okay. Ryan Johnson, I hate you. I hate you so much that I'm going to open a restaurant. And then, well, I'm sounding a little bit like Donald Trump.
Actually, you weren't Donald Trump, you're more valid. You're like, oh my god, Ryan Johnson.
Oh my god.
I can't believe it. I'm gonna open a restaurant. Because that's how I talk.
It is,
like
actually.
really. I have to really like put on this accent.
Yeah, this is-
Otherwise, I just slip into it. Oh no.
Most people don't know this is not Chris's real voice.
No,
he
no.
actually does speak like a Valley Girl.
I am a Valley Girl.
No one actually knows what his voice sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm a Valley Girl.
He has a
But
different voice for
anyway,
everyone.
on
he
that
interacts
topic,
with.
Chris, why don't you run us through your restaurant idea for Ryan Johnson?
Well, yeah, you see, if I had an amount of money, let's not unlimited, it's unrealistic. If I had some kind of amount of money, I would open up a really fancy restaurant in America. A really quality premium restaurant, and I would advertise it and get all kinds of sponsorship deals, and so I can open up a one in the heart of like Hollywood, a really upscale. And I'd have a waiting list for months, and I'd let Ryan like on that waiting list a few times, but not get him into the restaurant until finally he gets into the restaurant. He hears about how amazing like the meals are. He gets there. He orders the meal, and then I'm going to bring him out basically something completely different that I know he would hate. Like, I'll just like a line of celery sticks. And then when he comes over, complains to the waiter and goes, "That's not what I'd order." I would train the waiter to be like, "Oh, really, Ryan? That's not what you ordered when you came to this restaurant.
So Chris,
Didn't I just subvert your expectations? Oh, you've been subverted, Ryan."
So let me get this straight, Chris. You would literally go through the process of opening and starting a business, of opening a restaurant, getting the clientele,
Yep.
getting the real estate,
Yep.
the tax, the
Yep.
government, all the permits down, just to prove a point to Ryan Johnson.
Absolutely, and I think that'd be money well spent. And then I'd burn the restaurant down because I'd be done with it. I'd be like, "Yep, it served its purpose. I've proved my point."
And then you could build another restaurant with J.J. Abrams and invite him in and
Well, you see, we'll save that for later, but it depends on my opinion on J.J. Abrams. But apparently, our first topic is what I promised. I promised this.
well, you don't listen to the podcast, so
Yeah, fair enough.
we can say anything. But Chris, last time you promised we'd be Gilmore Girling it up.
Well,
Jamie can
the
tell us
thing
back to
about the
the-
Gilmore Girls. No, so we're going to talk about our favorite cartoon / anime. The reason why I put cartoon as a preface because apparently Jamie doesn't watch any anime at all.
None.
No, that's not anime.
All right, Jamie. Let's talk about you. Let's go with you first because you seem like the person on my left.
Your other left.
You're on the left. What is your favorite cartoon and what's one that inspired you?
I don't know.
And if you say Turtles, I'll slap you.
No, one that sticks with me is original X-Men.
The original X-Men. Oh, yes.
That just
All seasons, including the really cheap one when they moved production to Asia.
I can't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
honestly
that
can't
was
remember because all whatever they showed on television.
The
It's
first
one
four,
remote.
basically.
Yeah.
Also the Spider-Man series that came out at the same time.
yeah,
That-
the original one. Yeah.
And now, was that the one with my favorite
Yes,
Spider-Man?
yes.
Oh,
with the
Mutant Spider.
Mutant Spider.
I can't believe they have not done that story arc in. I know it's a bit, maybe a bit like I don't know, too horror for like the MCU, but I would love to watch Tom Holland grow 6 arms and turn into a giant spider. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly think they probably saved that more for maybe a Marvel animated feature because I mean they could. Well, you
could do it.
though, yeah.
Yeah. But then obviously like the 80s turtle cartoon.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Ah.
Even though it's so bad, like apparently
It's
they
so
had to
bad,
pump- they had to
like-
pump- no, but they had to pump out so much of it. Like they
Yeah.
were consistently pumping it out that they have fill-in actors voicing the turtles, like just so, and it wouldn't sound like anything like them. Like so randomly, this guy was sick, so we kept filming. And then it's like Raphael suddenly sounds like, that's a Raphael. And then you'd have Donatello speak, but it came out of Michelangelo and
But
it's just like-
I mean, most of those cartoons, I know we love them, and I know they are like precious to us. They were a giant toy commercial.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
To the
sure.
point where, like, I think in America, government laws actually came into place after that whole run of 80s, where it basically says, like, you can sell toys and cartoons, but you also have to have, like, messaging in terms of, like, like teaching kids something.
Yeah.
It has to be somewhat educational. It can't be just a giant toy commercial.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And Turtles was absolutely a byproduct of basically the toy commercial product. And let's be honest, I mean, did you actually ever own any of those original?
I got 'em, I got 'em
toys?
all.
The original ones?
original, yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, you mean the toys?
Yeah, the original toys. Yeah.
Oh no, I had them and I lost them.
Ah, that's right. Because they had a
I
really
remember they had the sewer,
and they had a
like,
really
the
sick.
van.
They had really sick belts as
They
well.
did,
Like,
yeah,
and you put the
yeah.
weapons in, and you had the
Yeah.
swords in the back. Yeah.
I've got some.
I used to have the sewer system and the van. You know,
Yeah.
the turtle van that came out with Casey Jones, Shredder, all that kind of thing. Yeah.
I
used to have that.
like. I was a huge fan of the Turtles. I think before Jamie even was a fan of the Turtles.
No,
Like,
impossible.
Yeah.
No,
But
doesn't work.
obviously, like people, obviously back then, if you remember, there was a lot of the rigmarole around, like, oh, the Turtles are teaching kids violence.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well in England, Michelangelo's nunchucks were edited out of the cartoon.
Really?
So just
Really?
yeah.
Because they're classified as a deadly weapon. Like it's quite, it's
what
quite.
swords
So-
are.
But Leonardo
Yeah.
Swords
Yeah.
weren't taken out?
No, it's just Michelangelo's nunchucks.
But
And-
why? Why
and-
would?
I don't know.
Swords.
As opposed to the swords and the sides.
And-
I mean,
yeah.
I know they're
Well, but those would be classified as actual weapons. Nunchucks is, I guess, a grey area of weaponry, and
Okay.
so I guess like
Yeah.
it's a piece of chain. And I mean, technically, it's to beat rice out of the field and things. So technically, there's a history behind it. That seems a bit odd to me, but
Yeah.
it's not surprising where countries do sort of weird things with.
Yeah, well, they weren't called Ninja Turtles over there either. They were called Hero Turtles.
Hero
Because-
Turtle.
Yeah, because somehow England wouldn't know what a ninja is.
But I mean, let's be honest. Back in those eras, a lot of weird things happened. There was entire studios who sold animation to the West so they could cut it up and make their own stories out of it. Like you know, Samurai Pizza
Yes.
Cats.
Yeah.
Nothing had nothing to do with any of that thing. That's like
No.
Robotech was
Robotech.
three different animes that they merged in together. Across this other one, and then so the reason why people are going, oh, how come the enemies are such larger? Because they were from a different anime
Yeah,
completely
exactly.
altogether. Separate issue. Unrelated.
That's funny.
But I think what you've touched on, those three series, we all grew
No,
up
you-
with.
2003 is my favourite.
You've
Turtles
touched
series.
on why you like them, but why do they speak to you, Jamie? This is,
Why?
I like shows too, but why does that resonate with the young man?
It's my childhood.
Yeah, nostalgia.
It's a nostalgia. But for me, if you want to get why and ooh and how, and 2003 series was so good because it was so close to the comics. Like the very first
Yeah.
episode is word for word.
Is that the Turtles?
I remember
handed
you
down?
playing that for me. Yeah, that was.
1, 2, 3 Turtles.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that
Nice.
one.
Nice.
Great 5-season arc, and then it went weird.
Yeah, with the magical ninja dragons.
Yeah, and like slightly differently animated. And,
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes when you can always tell when they switch animation studios. It's studios. It's always it is a lot of times cynical about trying to save a few bucks.
Yeah.
I won't talk about One Punch Man's recent animation, but
One
you know,
Punch Man, yeah.
we will not go there. Ryan,
Look, Jamie's echoed pretty much what I grew up on. The only things I would add to, Spider-Man was my favourite. The first animated series of Spider-Man. I've got that. I've watched it many times. The only other thing I would add would be Dragon Ball Z. From back then, in the early years, because it used to be cheap TV. It used to be.
yeah.
It used to be, I think it was Spider-Man, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and X-Men.
Yep.
And that was the morning.
Yeah,
and I
it
would
was.
sit up and then, like I think you was mentioned on the previous podcast, I would get the rest of it recorded
Yeah.
when we went to school. But I love my Dragon Ball Z. At the moment, animated-wise, I'm really digging the Castlevania stuff, the new
Oh,
Castlevania
yes, on
stuff on
Netflix.
Netflix.
That's
Because
quite
I grew up
good,
with all
yes.
those games
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and watching, even though there's only 3 episodes a season and they
Oh,
go
yeah.
for 20 minutes and makes you want more.
3 episodes, you're being generous. It's like
Yeah.
2.5 maybe they drop out. Yeah.
I'm really liking. I really like Castlevania, and that's one I've watched a few times. But more so, I've drifted to the animated features now, not so much the series.
Ah, okay.
So, like, especially, I will always say DC own the superhero animated features. They do
Yeah.
so many great movies like the
Better than anyone else, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. There's some good Marvel ones, but DC to me will always own that stuff with like Under the Red Hood is my
If only
favorite.
they could bring it into the.
Sorry.
If only they could bring that sort of
Yeah.
writing into the.
To the
I don't know why
actual
they just
movie
hired them.
universe?
With my favorite one was was it the Apocalypse one with Supergirl, Darkseid?
Yeah. So
Darkseid?
Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, and Supergirl
Yeah.
was in that one.
Yeah, that was to me that was like that was one of my favorite ones. It was
That's
just
another
insane.
one like the Ninja Turtle series. They went pretty much word for word for the comic.
Yeah.
That series was great. There was a few Batman and Superman ones for there, but also I found the Batman ones are fantastic. Ninja Batman.
Ninja Batman's
that's
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a good one called Batman and Son. So it's Batman and Damien and how he comes apart, how he comes to.
That was with
know his dad.
that was the owl with the owls, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
yep, yep.
yeah.
That was a good
but
one.
it's
I like
very
that
dark. The DC are not
Yeah,
afraid to
yeah,
go
they're
full on
yeah.
violent for the Suicide Squad ones are fantastic. I remember you said you watched Hell to Pay.
one. Hell to Pay, yeah, it was quite good. It was
There's
quite
also,
good. Yep.
look, there's so much good stuff in feature films as well. But I mean, nostalgia-wise,
Yeah.
X-Men, Spider-Man, Dragon Ball Z, even a bit of Pokemon back when we were younger and that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, well, the same goes for me. Like, it was Dragon Age,
Dragon Age.
Dragon Ball Z, and,
When I was a kid.
Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. What else? Yeah, X-Men definitely for sure. I grew up on X-Men. But at the moment, I think it's more like I'm watching quite a lot of anime at the moment. I guess I'm watching One Punch Man. What else am I watching? I'm watching a series on Stan called Dororo, which I very highly recommend. It's very good. So no, I'm really enjoying it. It's really good.
Insightful, Michael. Absolutely
Yes.
insightful opinions on why you like
He's
things.
just straight to the point.
Very to the point. Okay, so for me,
Something
so if I talk about the things from my childhood that I really liked, I like this show. I can't even remember it. It was like Monster Hunter. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
Or was
yeah,
it-
Monster Hunter, yeah.
I think that was basically there was like it was a team of people who hunt monsters. There was one dude that turned into a werewolf. Really cool. Like it was from that 80s era of
Yeah.
like. I think it was from the 80s era, basically like toys. Buy these toys, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah. And obviously, look, Dragon Ball Z as well was one of the series I loved, specifically growing up, particularly around the Frieza saga.
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
like- so,
Freezer and so.
Were you the kind of person who was sitting there when Goku was trying to go Super Saiyan? And I
Oh.
was trying to do it as well.
That scene where he first becomes
Yeah.
when he first becomes Super Saiyan, where he just gets so angry, he gets
Yep.
so furious at Frieza. He basically goes, "It's like I won't let you do this." And when he first turns into like a Super Saiyan, when he first then starts fighting Frieza, and Frieza's like, "Oh, why can't I hit you?" And he goes, "Oh, you didn't say please." And then like Frieza like basically shoots like this laser like throughout the entire I think I'm like multiple episode arcs.
Yeah, definitely.
When Frieza shoots like the finger laser thing, it rips through someone completely.
Yeah.
He just hits Goku on the chin. He just looks at him like, like yeah, that's
Yeah,
That sit up and go, holy
and you're like what?
Yeah.
What is this? What is like? But then that show is again I really like Dragon Ball, but that show is basically like an escalation of power.
Yeah.
So Frieza is the greatest thing in the universe. Then there's Cell.
Yeah.
And then there's Boo. And then it keeps going on. And now until the point where Goku was actually fighting a god. Because, like the god of destruction, because there was nothing else, like...
we're past that now. But now everyone's Super Saiyan.
We are well past him fighting a god. Fighting a god is like nothing anymore. We are well past that.
But
It's like
that's one
Super
thing
Thanos.
I've never really. That's one thing that it's kind of I'm a little bit disappointed with Dragon Ball Z is that scene with Frieza. It was like he went Dragon, he went Super Saiyan. It was like but now it's like everyone's Super Saiyan. Oh, you're Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I know. It
You're
was kind
Super
of
Saiyan.
the first
Everyone's
time we
Super
saw
But
Saiyan.
let me defend the show on that one. Actually, let me defend the show. So
Okay.
for a long time, no Saiyans knew how to go Super Saiyan Goku figured it out, or he didn't really figure it out. He's too dumb to figure something out. It happened to Goku,
Yeah.
and then when Vegeta figured out how it happened to Goku, he then he basically tried to replicate, and then he actually figured out what the actual trick was to go Super Saiyan, and then like once they actually understood what the trigger was, they then taught their children the trigger, and that's why.
So
that's
Goku
why,
was kind of like a catalyst.
It was a catalyst.
To set it all
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a freak accident. Well, not well, he wasn't planning on it.
No, but then now
it
they
was
know.
kind of-
Now they know because essentially where they say Saiyans get their power from rage.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to sort of build up that rage inside of you, and then basically like, and then like in the new series, he actually like the Dragon Ball Super. There was a martial arts tournament across the universes, and there was a Saiyan from another universe who couldn't do Super Saiyan, and Vegeta was holding him, going, "I'm going to destroy your planet. I'm going to kill every single one of your family members. I'm going to annihilate every single one you ever loved." And then the kid goes Super Saiyan. He goes, "Okay, cool. Remember that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you do it. That's how you become Super Saiyan."
So it's kind of like, Goku started the movement. It's kind of like
Yeah.
which I can get, but
Well, that
nothing
makes
will
sense,
beat
yeah.
that first
Oh, that
one.
first time. But I mean, when you look at actually, I was
Freya.
looking online, and like apparently, according to the current law, Goku sitting down, not charged up, is a power level of about 16 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Super Saiyan form is like 36 quintillion.
Yeah.
Like it is like beyond ridiculous. Like everyone in the Dead show have beyond. Like I remember one stage 9,000 was like, oh crap, 9,000. And now it's like basically I don't even sneeze for power level 9,000.
Yeah.
But let's talk about again. I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. There's obviously my favorite anime. One of my favorite animes is obviously Naruto.
Yeah, it's Naruto. Very awesome.
Isn't that the one with like 7,000 episodes?
So there's about 280 something from the first season, and about
Yes.
400 and
It's a big
480.
Chris,
investment.
500 from Naruto Shippuden.
500 from
Which is the
Shippuden,
second.
yeah. And so that's about 600 to 700 episodes all round. But that's what's so great about that show is that you actually follow Naruto from being a snot-nosed little brat from the beginning,
Yeah.
past why he's why he's doing that because he wants attention, because no one's giving attention, because obviously people think he's cursed, and then going into then obviously the arc of him becoming like the savior of the world. And again, like I said before, the reason why I think that's a really good story arc is because cartoons. We watch cartoons because we're old, adults who like cartoons, but also kids watch cartoons.
Yeah.
But a kid who watches Naruto learns two things. Regardless of whatever the world thinks about you, who cares about their opinion?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on yourself? And Naruto always said, "I'm going to be the sixth Hokage." And I was like, "You're stupid." He's like, going, "Don't care.
I'm still gonna do it."
This is
Yeah.
my
And that's a
vision.
great lesson
This is
for
my
kids.
goal." And he was singular focused, and regardless of anything that happened, nothing shook him from
Yeah.
his path.
Yeah.
People told him, "Oh, your friend Sasuke's gone evil." And he's like, "No, gonna save him.
Yeah,
gonna bring him
that's
back."
right. No matter what.
No
yeah.
matter, and basically he's just stuck to his path until
Even
the end.
Sasuke was like, no.
Yeah,
Like,
no, even Sasuke in Shippuden was going, "Kill me! I'm like evil." And he's like, "No, not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick to the end." They literally blew each other's arms off with power because they're like, and then they're lying down laughing, going, "Okay, yeah, all right, it's fine, all good."
No, that's
but
great
because
lesson,
he
yeah.
said, "No, that is his conviction." And again, the same thing can be said about Captain America. So
Okay.
this is why we all love Captain America, because
Yep.
you have your viewpoint is this. You do not bend. You do not move off your viewpoint. As his line says in Civil War, and things says in the comics. No,
Yep.
you move.
Yeah, you move. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
An anime that I'm really enjoying at the moment as well, which is basically very simple. Because essentially, once Naruto ended, I was looking for that Naruto fix.
Yeah.
I tried One Piece, but I am 1,000 episodes behind, so I don't think I could catch up on one. I could. I just have the time.
All I'm hearing
No.
is excuses, Chris.
Yeah, I know. But then another hero show that I love is My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also love
I remember
that.
you telling me
It's
about
very
My
much
Hero
so.
Academia.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it's actually a really good show in terms of what is actually it's introspective, saying what is a hero. It's not an animation, a Japanese animation studio, Japanese creators, but they're trying to take the Western superhero world. So then, like the main hero in the All Might, he's like wearing the red, white, and blue costume,
Yeah,
got his
the
blonde
symbol.
hair, and you got the
Pretty much your Superman.
He's
Captain
a
America,
Superman
yeah.
character. But like one thing, like he was basically the whole show is about him trying to look for someone to pass his powers onto, basically to become the next.
Shazam!
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
and it has it very like it
Yeah.
has very similar to that. But essentially, how he picks the main character who basically has no powers whatsoever. The universe everyone's got power was because there was a moment where someone was in trouble, and then like the kid talks about, I didn't know what was happening. My legs just were moving. My body was just moving towards, like, when everyone's running away from the danger. He was like, I'm just running towards. I don't know why. And that's the heroes. They're going, regardless of anything that's happened, anything that how weak you are, you are still trying to save someone and you're moving towards danger, not running away from it. And that's like that ultimate hero story. And then he gets to go to high school with all the other heroes and fall in love, remember? But it's your typical Japanese show. But then essentially, like, one thing I'm watching a lot of anime. One thing I look for is a studio that's willing to put the money and time into good animation in terms of fight scenes.
Yeah.
Long past the day of anime where they do like the single freeze frame picture and they move the picture around to make it look like, oh, look how great they'll be, or flashy light effects. One Punch Man season 2. you actually see them fight, and what they've done is they've obviously read a lot of Western comics, and they're trying to take those very awesome hero frame shots where like the two heroes are hitting each other's fists, and they're trying to take those like shots in
And it meets together.
Yeah.
The force, and you can see.
They're taking those sorts of images into the anime, and to me, it's one of my favorite animes. But I'm a huge anime subscriber to things, and so I will watch most of the anime. Back in your cage, Christine, and then we will. But yeah, so that's my opinion, and that's my thoughts on my favorite of the comic, the cartoons. Jamie.
Yes.
Is there anything that would actually make you get into the anime genre? What's holding you back? As you used to sing in all your songs about women and skateboards and getting done.
I haven't written songs in a very long time, and they have not been about that. But I don't know. At first, what put me off was subtitles.
Yep.
Because I don't like going down and then up and then down and then up and then down and up and then down and up and then down and up. If I want to do that, I'll watch tennis. But
Really? That'd be a weird. So you're watching tennis lying down then? You're going down.
No, it's the same thing, but looking, left, right, up,
you
down,
watch
left,
tennis.
right, up, down,
You watch
left,
tennis weirdly. I will say that.
I don't watch tennis.
You watch tennis?
Well, look, left to right, up, down. What's the difference?
How about
Quite a lot. But anyway.
How about I put this question to you, Chris, as being probably the you guys, you and Mike are probably the most anime in this group. If someone were wanting to start out with anime, never watched anything like Jamie, what would you recommend?
Look, my first instinct is Naruto, but again, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
That is again what the first season of Naruto is basically 288 episodes of you getting to know Naruto. And like, there's some story, but then it really gets next level is the Shippuden. So then that's not your start. That's not your you watch this to start. No. That's a hardcore.
I think
there's about 3 or 4 that come to mind. One that Jamie has somewhat maybe seen. It is a very westernized anime with Sword Art Online. That's the birthplace of being trapped inside a video game, becoming a hero. I would recommend My Hero Academia as well as a really good strong point because essentially it's superheroes, which is topical.
Yep.
But it has all the very typical anime moments inside of it in terms of what it has the typical hero. It has the heroes getting these abilities. The heroes fighting. Meeting
Is there flashbacks to their childhood?
There is absolutely flashbacks.
You need in an anime.
Yeah, you need flashbacks to their childhood. Absolutely. And so that's one that's very easy to get into. Michael, what do you?
What would you recommend?
Well,
Mike?
I would say for a starter anime, I'd probably say the best would probably be. There's a series on Netflix called Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
Now, I think that would actually be a good place to start for anyone wanting to get into anime because it's accessible. There's only a couple of seasons. Not very many episodes.
I think 2 so far.
2 seasons so far.
They're
Not
making
very
the 3rd season
intimidating.
as we speak, I think.
Yeah, it's because it's very popular.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, Jamie, could we get you to sit down and watch My Hero Academia?
Maybe.
All right.
I think
It
I'd
is
be
in
in that because
English.
I haven't seen it.
It is in English.
Trust me. I mean, I know your taste. You like. I mean, you liked Batman the animated.
You'll like it.
I loved it.
You
That's
love
my-
Ninja
I
Batman.
can't believe I didn't even mention that.
You love Ninja Batman.
Yes, I did.
You love Batman the animated series.
Yes,
too.
I do.
You will definitely be part. My Hero Academia would be definitely something that you would actually enjoy. So I mean, yes. Also, keep in mind it is Japanese.
Of course, yeah.
There are 15-year-old school children who don't look 15 and wear costumes that,
Maybe entertain old Japanese men.
Yes, but always keep
strips,
it in the back of your mind. They're 15.
Or Bryan Singer. Yeah,
Keep
okay,
that
yeah,
in your-
excellent, yeah.
Keep that in your mind. Anyway.
Unless you're a Greco-Roman.
My wife's giving me
But someone actually told me, I'm not sure if it's true, someone told me actually that in some cities in Japan that's actually a legal age to marry, like
Okay.
15. I don't know, anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Can I imagine they're 18 and...
Sure. But I mean also, they're cartoons, so it's a new point. Anyway.
But no, I think I'd be interested if you want to sit down and give that one a go. Not for the scantily clad schoolgirls, but for the hero.
But let's be honest,
But it does sound good, like the elderly hero looking to pass on the powers, and it's the boy who's got no powers and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
it's actually a really good. It's actually a really good.
It's a good hero's journey.
welcome,
Sounds like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Welcome to our new podcast, Pervy White Guys.
Remember, I'm ethnically Korean. Don't count me in your. Do not count me in your perviness. Anyway,
That was Capri Larson.
Okay, so 3 pervy white guys and a pervy Korean. There
Yeah.
you go.
apparently Koreans are naturally perv. All right.
Would it be the like so it'd be like the Warriors 3 and
The career. No,
so it'd be
The Warriors 3 and then
no.
I'd
it'd
clearly
it'd
be Goldstag with
the
my
pervy-
Goldstag,
the
yeah.
pervy white, the pervy 3,
yeah, the
And
pervy
Korean.
and a Korean.
and Lady Chris.
Wow. Anyway,
There you go.
Black Pig. Anyway, all things Korean. Anyway.
But thank you for reminding me of Batman the Animated Series. Great show. Great. So many origins of so many characters. Fantastic. Watch it. I'm not saying anything
Harley
else.
Quinn.
Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, technically.
They rebooted the story of Mr. Freeze from the comic, from the animated series, and that became.
Yes. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill. Kevin Conroy as Batman. Mark Hamill as the Joker.
And remember, you can watch the first episodes of that show, and it wasn't Mark Hamill; it was Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And that's when they brought Mark Hamill in because you could do a somewhat Tim Curry kind of.
he does. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you think about it, they're kind of But
Well,
yeah, Harley
wasn't
Quinn.
Tim
That
Curry-
episode where Harlequin came
For the
in.
first few episodes,
yeah,
it was
but
Tim
wasn't
Curry.
Tim Curry's version like ridiculously creepy? And then
Mark Hamill's was just as creepy.
But I think they did bring Mark Hamill in just to kind of give it a bit more, a little bit as wholesome as you can give the Joker. But I think that I would recommend that to anyone. They've just released it all on Blu-ray, thank God.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
Excellent.
All
right.
5 seasons, not a bad episode in the batch.
Yeah. Let's move on to a very important topic that's
Yes.
near and dear to my heart.
Ryan Johnson. Wait.
Right. Let's talk about Star Wars Celebration. Now,
All I know, apart from noisy people in the room, is that video game.
all right, let's talk.
yes.
Let's talk about. Let me tell you about what was announced at Star Wars Celebration, and then we'll talk about the sort of happens. First of all, obviously the major Star Wars panel, which is obviously the way they talked about
Yeah.
Episode 9. Then they came to the next day where they talked about the video game stuff, and obviously they mentioned Star Wars: The Fallen Order.
Yes.
Mentioned a bit about the new Clone Wars animated series that's coming
Yeah.
out as well. But then obviously they also mentioned. Well, there was also almost a simultaneous showing of the new Disney streaming service, Disney Plus, where they also mentioned a few
With The Mandalorian,
with
yeah.
things. And so they're saying, what are we launching? The new streaming service for you Star Wars fans. Here it is, The Mandalorian. And everyone went, so where do I just put my money directly into the TV? or do I have to give it to
That
someone?
was
Now,
amazing, yeah.
It does look great.
before we
It does.
talk about the movies of the game, let's talk about The Mandalorian first.
Yeah.
Let me
Thumbs
just...
up, yes.
It has
So-
moving money in it by the looks of it.
So basically, it's
Wow.
from the looks of things, they are reusing a lot of sets actually from Solo and also from other Star Wars movies. So basically,
We've got to make the money back.
yeah.
somehow.
but the point is, it's movie quality stuff
Yeah.
on a TV show. And then the directors they have, they showed Taika Waititi, and they got we watched actually the leaked version. Because they didn't release the footage, it was all people because they just played up phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. If they're not going to release it, we'll see it other ways. Like as soon as they announced Taika Waititi and they showed him filming the scene, everyone the crowd went ballistic.
Yeah,
the crowd
exactly,
just went,
yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that's wicked. And everyone loves Pedro Pascal. I
Yep.
love Pedro Pascal from
Yep.
both Narcos and his one season
Game of
of
Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
Yep.
where he was the only hero available in Game of Thrones. Anyway, but And then then the good thing I like them that they announced is he's not just a dude wearing the Mandalorian armor. He's actually a Mandalorian. He is a Mandalorian. And they say he starts off as a bounty hunter. I'm like, ooh, starts.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's an R? Tell me about this. Tell me what. Can he return home and potentially, I don't know, restart the Mandalorian Empire? I'm getting ahead of myself here on that. He used one pistol, which is not signature for a Mandalorian. Mandalorians generally use twin pistols. But he also has a long gun in his back, so he might be more of a long-range fighter than actually like the twin gun Mandalorian.
Yeah. See, the Mandalorian soldiers are known to use either twin pistols or a heavy blaster.
Yeah, so he's the heavy blaster
So I was
guy.
very
You can see that
impressed when I
slung
saw
over the back.
That long gun, yeah.
blast, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about why. I mean, I will watch this show. It's got Dave Filoni, who's basically, in my mind, who should be the head of Lucasfilms.
Yep.
Basically, he does Clone Wars. He was the last person to work directly with George Lucas on things. So basically, they made Ahsoka Tano together, and they made Clone Wars together. So he is deep. He's steeped inside Star Wars. He's working now with Jon Favreau, who's now, and actually.
Jon Favreau is fantastic.
Jon Favreau, I actually would also pen as potentially should take over Lucas as well, depending on how the movies go, because they both seem to like have a really good concept and grasp on things. Going back a little bit to the Disney streaming service, Feige's actually announced finally that the shows on on Disney Plus will affect the movie.
Oh,
so at the moment they say, the TV shows were never part of the cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's
they were
right.
just there. They were trying to reference cinematic universe, but there was no reference back, so there's an account. They've actually said that those shows actually have direct tie-ins back to the movie.
Fantastic.
And so we've got proper actually now, because Kevin Feige's doing it himself, so he's like going, it's my toy.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's my toy box. I get to choose what I play with. Hey, all good. But the Disney streaming service will be launching 12th of November in America only.
Yeah.
So, I will still watch the shows when they come out.
We will just have our way.
Chris is going to take his private jet.
Yes.
Now, let
That
me
is the
say
only
this.
way we can endorse this.
Let me say this. If they announced it, if it was, I will pay for this service. This is enough quality for me to want to pay for it. But you're not giving me the option to pay for it, which means I have to find other methods and means to watch the shows, which is very disappointing for me because I prefer to give the money to Disney.
And they're not even asking. It was $6.99 a month or $70 a year.
I think that's their starting point to get you in. They have to agree.
I think I would pay for a year just so I can
lock that price in.
$70 a year.
You'd lock that. Yeah,
three Blu-rays.
You would lock that price in. I mean,
definitely.
like honestly, those in America who are not going to buy that $60 a year subscription, you're fools. Lock
exactly. Because you know in 6 months they're going to go, it's $12.99.
Yeah, you know they're going to go to $12 to $15.
Yeah. They did it with the DC streaming. That went up a couple of bucks.
So let's talk about the failure with but the point is, they need to understand that they need to launch these things in multiple regions, or else there's going to be problems.
Yeah.
You like DC?
Yeah.
Well, if we make enough noise, hopefully they will actually reconsider.
But I think.
I don't know why they have to wait a full year before they release it here.
Well, look at what happened with DC streaming.
We don't even have DC streaming.
Well, look what happened with Titan. We got it on Netflix.
Yeah.
But
it was like months after the fact.
I'd seen it pretty much on release.
Yeah, because you had a friend from America who taped it and flew over and gave you the footage.
He did.
Absolutely. Because as we know, streaming and downloading is dead in Australia.
It is.
The government blocked the websites.
That one website that never popped up again has been blocked.
There is no such thing as mirrors. When you block the website, it kills all the other websites.
Everything.
That's how it works, government.
PSA.
That's how it works. You can't. There's no.
But yes, I do have a friend in America who did actually bring me over a copy of. He bought it from the shop. I gave him the money. I watched it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and when Mandalorian comes out, I'll be also paying that individual to come over and then also.
We've got a guy on standby.
We've got a guy on standby for that one. Anyway,
he's on retainer.
Damn.
Now let's talk about Fallen Order.
Yes, please.
Please.
People complained that there was no gameplay. But they actually came out and said, look, this was a trailer for the Star Wars Celebration crowd. Not all of them are gamers. They're just trying to show them something Star Wars, and hopefully they'll get into it, the gaming. There's an EA sort of conference in June that they will actually probably show gameplay footage because it's their big November release. Before the game was even announced, I thought it was interesting that they announced it's a single player game, no multiplayer, no microtransactions, no loot boxes.
Yes.
That was really just to get ahead of the press to say, hey, here you go, here's the game you want.
Definitely.
Here's
That made my day
here's
when I
your
heard
single
that.
player story game. And I'm like going, thank you, EA.
And the games I want.
I will give you my money.
And the fact that EA were the ones to do it when
Yeah.
they're notorious for here's all the DLC and that kind of
that was
stuff.
very refreshing. What do you guys think of that trailer, Jamie?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I if I'm going to be honest, I probably prefer the games to most of the movies.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just because you get to be a Jedi.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a
I
Jedi?
want
Exactly. That's what
Jedi.
got me. That's
Who
what got
doesn't
me.
want to be a Jedi?
So
Absolutely.
from the premise, from what I can get, you're a survivor of Order 66.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's
and then
correct.
it's your journey throughout that. That's what I got from the trailer.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean,
And so they also announced, very interesting, it's not a stealth game. So
yeah, you can
they're
kill
going
it.
to be getting balls to walls with lightsaber battles. So I'm like going,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm all
Well,
for
to be
that.
honest with you, I haven't played a good Star Wars game since Knights of the Old Republic.
So just also, also a bit of like games trivia. The person who's making this game is also was also made made God of War 3.
okay, I mean,
Okay then.
okay. Yeah, God of War 3, I've
Alright.
played and finished about 100
Can
million
Christian judge
times.
me?
and- yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like
yeah.
so the it's gonna be
Oh my
good.
God.
This could potentially be the one that knocks Knights of the Old Republic off for me because that is and always will be my
Yes,
favorite Star Wars
I
game.
agree.
I remember playing that on PC
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
day.
So
That's how old it is.
It's not
I
going to be
remember having that
an
on
RPG.
the
or anything, or
Xbox.
you don't know.
No, yeah.
Oh, the first Xbox, yeah.
I had that
So,
when it came out. Oh.
I think that's my favorite Star Wars game at the moment.
So come, I think June is when their conference is. Come June, we'll know a bit more about it. I mean, I want a single player game, but I also want to have some sort of character progression. Some RPG elements would be
yeah,
preferred.
yeah.
They said there might be some customizable lightsaber options. I'll be
Okay.
like,
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Build your own lightsaber.
because I mean,
Oh, wow.
I know that the reason why people go, why can't you be male and why can't you be female? Why can't you be the gender in between? Why can't?
Story.
Because essentially, this actually is a canon, what they call a canonical Star Wars story. So this character they've created is a character that now exists inside the
In the
Star Wars
universe, yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
That's why they can't say switch genders back and forth. No,
Yeah.
it's actually like this guy is a thing now. He exists.
And he's going to pop up in other things coming
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So,
right.
so that's why they say, and I have no issue with that. I have no.
Yeah.
Also-
it looks fantastic.
Also, someone pointed out on the internet that it's another character who gets to be both a Jedi and the Joker because the actor who's doing the motion capture and who's provides the face was the Joker on Gotham.
Oh,
Ooh.
Cameron Monaghan or whatever his name
Yep,
is.
and he's now
Oh,
so
wow.
guy. So again,
Mark Hamill.
like
Oh,
Mark
yeah,
Hamill,
there you go.
the
Right,
two
okay.
two
And you
actors
know
who
what,
now
he's-
get to
I
be a
know-
Jedi
I know-
and the Joker.
I know there's mixed
That's
reviews
awesome.
about Gotham on this table, but I mean, I've watched it all bar the last season. I'm saving it. It's finishing in 2 weeks. I'm going to watch it all in a chunk.
Yep.
But that guy's fantastic. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, and I think, that would, that's awesome.
Okay. Michael, your thoughts finally on the game?
Yeah, like I think
You
it
hate it,
reminds me
don't
of.
Yeah, he hates
No,
it. He's
it-
only going to play half of it.
No,
No,
I will
I
play. I
actually,
will play the shit out of this
Yeah,
game.
it looks very much. It reminds me very much of Force Unleashed.
Oh, I love those games.
I
yeah.
loved Force Unleashed, both of them. I loved it, and it was this actually reminds me a lot of that, and so I'm actually quite pumped, especially now that we know that he's that Cameron guy is on the.
Oh, Cameron, he's
so
good.
it's like
Yep,
yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Only thing is, I was a little bit trepidous at first, being EA. I'm like,
Yeah.
does that mean loot boxes and things like that? But then, as Chris pointed out before, they have actually come out and said, no, this is single player.
And I think that was a good move because
so I'm like, good.
they're avoiding the hate before it begins.
Yeah.
You know what
EA
I
is
mean?
infamous for
Now, this is an important game for them because one, they're launching it around the same time as the new Star Wars movie.
Yep.
People are going to be hyped about that. People are going to buy this game.
Yeah.
But if it's, if it was like Battlefront 2, they're going to have the same issues. But thankfully, they got ahead of the negative. Speaking of the new Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Episode 9.
Yeah.
Chris sounded almost disappointed. I suppose.
Okay.
I kind of got the impressions I got from you, Chris, is you don't hate it, but
No.
you're
He's just
got
waiting.
a wall up at the moment.
Yeah.
He's been hurt.
I've
Yeah,
been
of course
hurt,
you have,
like
yeah.
you know,
So,
and
yes,
as that
you
song
need to be
said,
guarded.
"Don't go breaking my heart." and then
And it's
Lucasfilm
J.J.
was like,
Abrams
I
going to go, I
couldn't
couldn't if I
tried.
tried. Yeah.
But as I said, and I'll say it again: fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, And so I'm I'm very much more cautious than ever been for
course
any
you would
Star
be.
Wars film ever. No, actually, no, Solo. I hated that too. So let's not muddy the
You,
water there.
you knew that was going to be bad.
I knew it was going to be bad, so
But you didn't have high hopes
That-
going into that like
that
you did last
movie was
Jedi.
I had a stein of beer beforehand, and that didn't even save that movie.
I had a boot. I had a litre of beer before that movie. Still crap.
Still couldn't save that movie. Anyway, so the title,
That
Yeah.
gives me hope.
Rise of the Skywalker.
That gives me hope because the word Skywalker is there,
Yes,
which is good.
I'm like, go on. I'm cautiously
Now,
go
on
on.
that, was your first thought? Because my first thought
Was Ray's
was Ray.
Yes.
But you had a different first thought.
No, because that's what we want. That's what the entire world wants. So what we're going to get is not that.
Okay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Ray Johnson's not behind this.
The-
You might.
the-
It's Abrams.
The other thing is, it could be, Luke Skywalker getting raised from the dead.
Again, also want that more. But again,
okay, let me just
So
point
were
out
you
too.
thinking it was going to be? It was going to be Kylo.
no, it's basically what I would guess is the title is basically about like the rise of Kylo Ren into the new head of the new whatever evil organization he's created, and because he's a Skywalker, henceforth Rise of Skywalker, it does make
Isn't he
sense.
I didn't
Solos,
even
though?
think of that
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you,
Later.
I haven't finished
Later.
The Last Jedi yet.
Okay.
That's
Good
how
man.
bad that
Good
movie
man.
is.
Also, I think too we need to think about in the trailer the lightsaber. Now, the lightsaber that Rey has in that trailer is Luke's lightsaber.
Yes,
Is
the,
it?
yes,
It is Luke Skywalker's
Okay.
lightsaber.
the broken
So
one.
the one that he allegedly in the movie that we shall
Yeah.
not speak of
Chucked
threw
it
off
over his
the
shoulder.
cliff
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a
And he didn't
disgusting
get the
display.
hand back.
Yep.
So that's the thing. That gives me hope. The fact that lightsaber that Rey has that and she's wielding it in a
Yeah.
movie
To give
called
you
The Rise of Skywalker.
And
Now-
New Hope.
Now
does give me
let's
a new hope.
okay. So let's talk about the words of the trailer.
Yeah.
Again, they start with hope,
Yeah.
isn't it? You hear Luke Skywalker's voice saying, "We've taught you everything we know. 1,000 generations is now passed to you, but this is your story." Am I going? Does that mean you trained her some more?
during the movie.
And I'm like going because again,
Yeah.
I've told Jamie this. There are two things that would redeem this movie for me. One,
Told us all. I remember.
yeah, Luke spends some actual time training Rey into
Yep.
actually being a Jedi. She doesn't just learn it from a book.
Yeah.
Very important. You can't just learn something from. You can't learn Jedi from a book.
From a couple of books. Yeah.
Two, Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
I would want both, but I'll settle for
One.
one of those two pieces.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that gave Jamie hope, and also the rest of the world, was how JJ spoke about The Last Jedi.
Yes.
He didn't outright say that he's ignoring it, but he almost did.
I
Basically,
remember,
so basically, just reading the articles and also the interview, basically what he said is like they approached him about it. He then sort of threw out of nowhere, "Oh, Ryan Johnson made his movie without talking to me." I was like, "Ooh, what are you saying? What are you saying there, young man?" Because apparently, what we now know is J.J. Abrams wrote the first movie and wrote an outline. Then
Yes, that's what you should
before that happened, Ryan Johnson just made his movie and went, meh, meh. And
It's
then,
a darker.
anyway, but then then JJ said, "I don't have enough time to go back and figure everything out, so I went back off my outline." I'm like, interesting.
So it's basically saying I'm going off my outline.
Yeah, because
Ryan
he
Johnson-
said he had 2 years to make a movie, which he says is basically,
Yeah.
and honestly,
Ooh, that's
2
too
years
tight, too tight,
is
2
tight. So he
years.
says, so he wrote what he knew, which is his outline. So then he just went, my outline.
Well, I'm
Which
hoping
essentially
he
is
took
saying
with
I'm
what he knew.
ignoring everything Ryan Johnson.
I'm not ignoring everything.
I know, because you still need to tie it together.
He needs to tie it together, but
As
he's
awful
not-
as that movie was,
He's
you
not
have to
ignoring
tie
everything,
it.
but
Like,
what do you see in the trailer? Kylo's repairing his helmet.
Yeah.
Knights of Ren are back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm going, you're not ignoring it, but you kind of are.
He's essentially trying to go, okay, I realise what a turd Last Jedi was. Let me do what I can.
Well, I mean,
Try to redeem himself. Oh,
it's a divisive movie, and there was an article done by a quote-unquote gaming website called IGN, who said, who was at Celebration and not interviewing people, and they say, "Oh, we're going to ask the haters about what they feel about The Last Jedi." And they're going, "Oh, so having a different opinion to you
Makes you a hater."
Makes me a hater." Okay, cool. I thought, and actually, a lot of people that interviewed, they actually were like, "Yeah, no, we didn't like Last Jedi," because the core of the Star Wars fan base is divided. There are some people who go, Star Wars can do no wrong, henceforth Last Jedi is awesome.
And they're holding on to that hope.
And then others are like going, no.
I have an opinion. I have.
It was a bad film.
Yeah.
And so and that's divisive of the fan base. You need a fan base to be whole, to be united, to move
'Cause,
forward
like,
as a.
Because the thing is too, Chris, on that you make an interesting point, because I know a few Star Wars fans, and they are fans for different reasons.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like they're divided too because of what people enjoy about Star Wars is different. You have the camp that loves the Skywalker story arc. Chris, I'm pointing at Chris right now. And these guys hated it because it just subverted everything they love about Star Wars. And then you get the other people that love the movie because that's what they grew up with. That's what their dads took them to see, and so they love the movies.
The nostalgia effect.
The nostalgia,
Yeah.
they love it. So for them, it's Star Wars.
And I'm sure you've got young
And they
people
just loved it.
who like the Rey and who like
Yeah.
the Finn and who
Oh,
like
look,
the
again,
and that's why they
and
love
as
it.
I
still think
said,
they're good characters.
I loved Rey from Force Awakens.
Yeah.
What
exactly.
happens in Last Jedi? Okay,
Yeah,
anyway,
that was-
I've never seen a character take a more 180 swim. Then anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Again, but Force Awakens Rey was like, yes, cool.
Yes.
Let's go on this hero journey with. Oh, what happened?
Yeah. Well, see,
let's
that's the
hope
thing,
she does
because my
another
issue with
180.
last night was it was more technical issues. Like the fight, the Snoke fight scene.
Oh yeah, the
that was
the
ruined for
like,
me.
like,
It was just so
I'm
badly
sorry, I
choreographed.
ruined the fight scene for everyone.
So the
Yes.
things I don't like about that movie are all technical things that I don't like things that like no, that does not logically make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's also an understanding of what Star Wars is. As I said before multiple times, people think Star Wars is a sci-fi. It is not.
No, it's not at all.
It is a fantasy.
No, it's a space opera.
Space opera, but it keeps
But it's
because it's
fantasy,
akin to more fantasy. Because essentially, the last year I was like, oh, the fuel cells are going down. We only got this long to go. I was like, going, when have we ever talked about fuel in Star Wars? We don't need to know how the ships work. They just work because they work.
Yeah.
It's like magic. They don't
Yeah.
explain the like a sci-fi like Star Trek, like any sci-fi. They go to great depth of this. Quad leaked engine is powered by
yeah.
10,000 kilocubes of lithium ionized energy. We've only got 99. My God.
That's a science fiction.
That's a science fiction.
Yeah.
Star Wars is space wizards.
Yeah, exactly.
Magic.
Magic.
Exactly.
Laser guns. How they
Go
work?
to warp drive. What's warp drive? We don't know.
How do the laser guns and lightsaber work? I don't care.
Doesn't
They
matter.
work.
Who cares? They
Don't need to
work. They're
That's how they
magic.
use it. Yeah, exactly.
Magic.
See,
Yeah.
and that's what
Oh.
Star Wars is. And hopefully, like again, I don't mind if JJ goes. I'm just going to copy what Lucas did. Fine, do it.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind that.
Well, he said I saw an interview thingy where he's saying like they're basically going to round it off like all 9 episodes.
Okay.
Like he wants to pay homage to where the journey began,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So yeah,
I think
look,
that's why they're bringing Palpatine back.
the being Palpatine back, that'll be quite interesting. I mean, no one knows how he's going to cut and what the.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was a bit confused because.
So
it's like-
essentially, is he back via, say, a Force ghost, or is he
Yeah.
back by, say, actually being resurrected, or is it back, or is he like a flashback or some sort of like?
I don't think it would be a flashback.
Well, because
Not
they said
from what we saw in the
no one's
trailer.
ever really gone. That was
Yes.
Well,
Now-
so could he
Darth
be a
Vader-
force that it just
Yeah.
he could live forever? You know.
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
total,
Darth
so
Plagueis the
total,
Wise.
Yeah.
total fan fiction. It'd be awesome if they go to where the Death Star crashed. Kylo Ren fights Rey. Palpatine appears and goes, "I'm back, wahaha. The dark is returned," and then he appears in the flesh. And then Luke appears in the flesh, and then Luke fights Palpatine, Rey fights Kylo.
And the fights mimic each
Yes.
other.
Simultaneous orgasm.
Yes.
Yeah, the fights
Yes.
mimic each
Again,
other.
total fan fiction. Don't care. This is what I want.
hang on. I think JJ just heard that. He's been writing the script as we speak. Yeah.
But I mean, but Star Wars is fan fiction. Like,
is.
like, why are we pretending it's not? George Lucas wrote a story. We've been writing stories. People have been writing
Yeah.
stories ever
Oh,
since
it-
based
There's
on
comics,
these stories.
there's
It's
TV
the
shows,
definition-
there's
when you look at-
movies.
It is the
there's-
definition
Yeah.
of a fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like when
Novel.
you look at like when George Lucas came up with Star Wars, he just wanted laser swords. That's literally what he said. When George Lucas said
No.
when he wanted to write Star Wars, he had a vision, of course, a story. But he said he wanted something with laser swords. He loved the idea of laser swords. And
His
so
vision,
he wrote this whole
let's
thing
be honest,
around
his vision was Flash Gordon.
Yes.
And then he couldn't get the
You
rights.
couldn't get the rights to Flash
And
Gordon
then screw it, laser swords.
laser swords. and then he had envisioned that everyone had laser swords, and then realized, oh, these are really hard to make for the budget I have. Only Jedi's have laser swords.
Yeah, yeah.
So then
From there it spawned
this
this
for this whole entire saga.
Oh.
But there was also rumors that George Lucas helped with J.J. Abrams'
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
No,
take
JJ
that
said he
with
went
a
for it.
grain of salt because that's something you'd say to try to bring the fans back. So I'm gonna be like, let me
But
hear it
didn't
from-
you say a while ago that also George Lucas was spotted on the set of The Mandalorian?
Yes, he was
Well,
actually. He's been,
yeah.
so he does seem to be a bit more involved in
It was
that.
in that preview too.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
pretty
it-
sure
oh,
he
yeah.
was in
Yeah.
the preview.
Yeah, he
George
said
Lucas
he
was
does seem to
there.
be more involved in the Mandalorian stuff, which makes sense because that's
Yeah,
that's
okay.
cool.
That gives a little bit of hope.
No, I have complete faith in the TV show Mandalorian. Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
I have complete
That
faith
looks
in that.
incredible.
The movies they need to
They need to do some.
they need to show me something before I'll be willing. Like what I would hope is what happens for Avengers, and there's a leak. Because I need to know the story before I spend money on it. And people, before you sound that strange, I read the entire script for Force Awakens and still saw it
You
seven
told me that
times.
last
And
night,
still saw
yeah.
it 7 times in the movie before it came out, so it doesn't affect it, and it didn't affect my viewing of the movie.
Yes, I can vouch for that because while we're sitting in the cinema at midnight, Chris was holding my hand, going,
Yeah, he was. He was so nervous. He
So
was so nervous
I'll
that night.
again 7 times read the script beforehand. Didn't affect my did not affect my viewing. So on that, will we all be going to see it on the midnight session?
I'm not going at midnight because I can't enjoy a movie at midnight.
It
I
just
can't.
depends. I'm open to it as
Chris is
I'm
going
open
because
to
of
it
the
before
bet
Chris.
I made
I'm
with him.
open
But I'm
to it.
open to it. It's just like it just depends.
Now, as that funny article says, as a Star Wars fan, if I hate the movie, I'm going to protest it by only seeing it 3 times in the cinema.
Yeah.
As a protest, I only saw The Last Jedi 4 times as my protest.
Yeah.
And that's because
many times did you see Solo?
That's because you booked it in
No,
advance.
and you know what's funny? The 4 times was, as Jamie said, because I booked the tickets in advance, I couldn't cancel them.
Ah.
Otherwise, I would have only seen it once. I could have cancelled. But anyway,
I'll be interested. I'd be definitely more intrigued now seeing this little bit to go up my tight.
yeah.
And they said there's not going to be any films for a while after.
Yeah, because let's be honest. They had plans for films. The Last Jedi and Solo threw the entire division into chaos. I don't mind them putting it back on the shelf for a while because honestly, and let's be clear, until they can prove, Kathleen Kennedy can prove that she's more than just the girl who made Crystal Skull, the Indiana Jones movie. Sorry, you should put that franchise back on the shelf until you come
As
up
a movie series.
as a movie series, until you can say, I'm going to make a movie, a trilogy. Here is the outline for my trilogy. Let us now find directors who are willing to work with inside the scope of this outline.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, I think too. Also on that, Chris, I think what they need to do as well. That's an interesting point. Is I think it would be a good idea for them to shelve the Star Wars cinematic universe because I think it would be better for them to build the TV universe a bit because they did away with all that fan fiction. Just before Episode 7, they just went, got rid of all the fanfic and said, no, we're restarting. And I think that's part of the issue is that they started they started the last 3 parts of the 9-part saga with no fanfiction from before. So there's no groundwork. So
Yeah.
shelve the movies, do some more TV shows, put a few feelers out there of different fictions that, different stories and all that sort of thing, and then do a
Yeah.
movie after they have that base of
But
TV.
I
characters.
can't. It must be. We've talked about this before that sometimes studios just don't understand what people want. We want the Old Republic.
Yes,
We do. We so
And the reason why we want the Old Republic is
We
not
so
because
do.
of the era. It's because the Old Republic give us potentially a battle of thousands of
Yes.
people carrying lightsabers and fighting
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
Yep.
Armies of
How
Jedi.
hard is this to understand the concept of what we want?
Armies of Jedi.
It's not difficult, and yet it does seem to be difficult for them to understand.
Can you imagine
they
that
want.
sound of the
like tungsten jazz.
you'd be like, look. So we're in the mountains now.
Yeah,
In Sydney, you'd hear it in Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, you'd
Yeah.
hear this. And if it's in a night battle, like the sky would be going ballistic.
Oh, yeah, that would be
imagine that.
incredible.
It'd be like the city glow you see from far,
Yeah,
far
but
away.
like
But it'd be going
hours.
like this.
You do like an ambush, and all you see is just his first. I can just see it. You just see one lightsaber go up, and you're like, oh yeah, and then
Well, what you joke about that, but that's actually one of the trailers for was it Old Republic? I remember the first one, the first
Yes,
trailer you showed
yeah, had some
at the
good
temple.
cutscenes,
The
yeah.
temple turns around and you see one guy with a cloak. He activates his lightsaber. The red, his red is the Sith. So then he pulls out his blue one. Then all of a sudden you see like them behind him.
Yeah.
And then like whole army of red, and then they run at each other, and everyone's like going,
Oh, that was amazing.
"That's incredible!" It's like going, "Do that in film."
exactly.
This is what people want to see. Trust me, we will see this movie.
Oh, 100%.
You imagine, like, you're at night and a Jedi is running towards a tree line. It's black, you can't see anything, and all of a sudden you just see this line of red, this red line appear on the
it's
horizon,
incredible.
and of just red lightsabers.
Or
And then the blue
Oh
glow
no!
from
You're more heroic. The hero's fighting like the villain, and the villain's like, "Oh, you're defeated," and all of a sudden, like, "You've got no friends." All of a sudden, the tree line, you see one green, one blue. Then all of a sudden, you see like just
purples and
yeah,
greens and blues.
as the order arrives,
That's
it's
the
like, come
ultimate.
on!
That's
And
the
then from
ultimate
off-screen,
see
the
who's
dropships
army, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
George,
George
JJ,
please.
listening?
Make this film. It'd be awesome.
We'll take $1 million for the idea. It's fine.
We'll even offer our services as extras.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, being a Jedi extra would be like the ultimate extra job in the.
You'll be number
I'm pretty
263 in that line.
I'm
Definitely.
pretty sure you would be weeping, Chris.
Yeah, be like.
Chris would be,
I'm
Chris
so
would be
happy.
happy.
Yeah, that'd
I'm
be
so
it.
happy.
Yeah, everyone would be serious and like this, and Chris would be like,
That's the only way you get Chris to the gym.
imagine that, you just rip open your robes and you got like, you're muscular.
Yeah, that's it. Trained 6 months beforehand.
Henry Cavill training.
No,
Like
but not knowing Chris would be like,
Henry Cavill
here's
training.
my Rick stunt double.
and it's the rock. Anyway.
alright. And on that note, Avengers leaks, don't share them.
No, please don't.
No, please
don't. My
please
heart has
don't,
already
ladies
been
and
broken.
gentlemen.
Do the right thing.
Every time you leak something from Avengers, an angel will fall from heaven and die.
And
murder
land,
you.
and land
Oh,
on
okay.
someone trying to stop vegans.
Yes.
I will shed a tear.
There will be one less person eating bacon in the world.
But let's be honest. The leaks aren't going to stop the box office success of the movie.
It's not.
Let's-
Like I said to you last night, it's just what I saw.
Again, in
it's gonna
protest-
hinder, I'm not going to be as excited.
in
you know what I mean?
protest, they might only see it 5 times in a row. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
in protest.
Well, what's the prediction? They reckon 900 million for it.
Yeah. something
Basically,
crazy.
it's tracking towards 900 million worldwide opening release.
Like we said last
Yeah, well,
week,
we've got
I'd
ticket
love to
sales.
see it overtake
Pre-order
Avatar.
tickets.
Yeah.
We said we'd like to.
I
I would
see
love it.
overtake.
It deserves to beat Avatar.
It does.
22
I would
movies in the
settle for
making.
Titanic.
Yeah,
No.
Titanic even.
No, Avatar or bust.
Oh, okay.
Avatar.
Chris is all in.
Avatar or bust.
Avatar
I
or
was going
bust.
to say right here, if it doesn't, it's Captain Marvel's fault.
Oh,
Ah.
wow. Okay. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Wow, Jamie. Wow.
Wow.
Did Brie Larson not return a fan letter to you?
Yeah.
when you were
Hashtag-
little?
This is nothing to do with Blue
Did
Rocks.
you
It's
like
Captain
send her a
Marvel.
Oh,
message and
Captain
she
Marvel,
didn't?
okay.
Hashtag equality
It still makes
much?
no sense to, hey, let's choose a character that's been rebooted seven times and isn't successful
We've
at all.
discussed this.
I know.
All Marvel's best characters are
Are
X-Men.
And
X-Men.
then, yeah,
And they
yeah,
couldn't wait.
Jamie, do you need a hug?
Don't need to-
I don't hug.
Everyone, can you please give Jamie a virtual hug?
because he seems
Oh,
to be
you're
sad
listening to this
about
podcast.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do this to you and Ryan Johnson.
You do. You poke you on purpose in the
You
chat.
actually constantly.
we all have trigger words.
constantly do it.
Jamie
all of
finally
us,
has
all
a
the
trigger
time.
word.
Yeah.
Like
It's
literally
no longer
all the
Michael
time.
Bay. It's no longer Michael Bay.
But now,
Jamie's trigger
we
word.
can fight back with
Michael Bay
no
still
Again,
annoys
we
me.
have
Michael Bay still
ammunition.
annoys me.
But it's not as much as
have the
Captain Marvel.
technology.
All right,
Oh.
Are we wrapping up?
we're wrapping up.
We're
Yeah.
wrapping up.
So I think our
Well,
next
no
time will
doubt.
be after we see Endgame, I believe.
Yeah.
It's less than,
Yeah,
a week.
so basically, we'll do a direct after Endgame.
Do you want to
What
do,
about what we
do,
did
you want
for
to do a video
Shazam?
run?
No, because I don't know if I'll be crying or not.
No,
Yeah, me too.
but like video requires effort. And I'm
Yeah,
lazy,
yeah,
you know?
No, and no
Like,
one wants to see.
wow.
No one wants to see grown men cry.
Exactly.
Okay?
I want to see Grown Men cry. So we will do a direct after,
Like we did for Shazam.
for Shazam, and yeah.
Oh, Shazam.
Alright.
This has
Shazam.
been the Nerd Migos featuring the noisy wives of Ryan and Chris. Say hello!
Brie Larson rules!
I don't know from with Brie Larson.
Larson? I thought it was Lawson.
I think it's Larson, isn't it?
Yeah, Brie Larson.
I think she's
I have a
Swedish.
problem
I
with
don't
Captain
know.
Marvel. There's a difference.
Captain Marvel rules.
What are they?
Everything to bring the women's
are they?
rights forward 20 years.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Oh,
we're editing that bit out.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Peace.
peace.
Toodles.
Bye.
Goodbye.